Hello, it's Thursday, and that means it's Thursday Q&A live from the studios of Digital DJ Tips, the leading online DJ school. I'm Phil Morse, and I'm here for the next hour to talk DJing with you. So this is an open house. Whatever questions you have, maybe you've got issues around your music collection, maybe you want to talk about DJ gear. We've got the controller that we open with there in the opening shot. We've also got this computer, which is the running record box. So the computer's an XMG computer and it's running record box. And as I said, we've got this controller here as well. So lots and lots of bits and pieces for us to talk about here. This is the DDJ 800 controller, but it doesn't have to be about laptops, record box, DDJ 800. Anything. Could be about promoting yourself, could be about just how to play gigs, because gigs are coming back again, which is awesome, isn't it? So whatever you would like to talk about, basically we're here for the next hour to help you. We're live on Facebook, which is across our Facebook groups and our Facebook page. We're also live on Twitch. Hello to everyone over there. And we're also live on YouTube. So welcome everyone. It's great to be here. We always enjoy this. And I'm going to spend most of my time today, probably as always, sat over on the comment cam. So for those of you that are new to this, we have a comment cam. And the comment cam is this one here. This is where I can see what people are saying as opposed to presenting directly to camera. So I will be doing that as of now for the next 55 minutes or so, putting your chats up on the screen. So hello to Mixmaster G, always the first to say hello, who says it's so warm in the Netherlands and it's actually sunny there. DJ Fuzz is saying hello to you, Mixmaster G. Hi, ex-Cozza. Hello to Kevin and to Paul in a sunny Winchester in the United Kingdom. Hello to Craig, who's just saying hello to everyone. It's nice to see. DJ Wardlow actually got to see the complete live show for once, so that's good. We're excited you're with us. Hi to Delmar and to Kung Fu Man. Listen, hashtag ask, hashtag ASK, hashtag ask if you want to ask a question. It'll just make it easier as the questions pile in, which they will, in order for me to see the questions from the comments. Hello to someone over there on Facebook. Hello to DJ Rudy. Hello to Selector Shaker, who says rock the dance floor. Well, that gives me a good intro to remind you that our book, Rock the Dance Floor, is the #1 book on Amazon on how to DJ. So if you haven't got this book, then you can head over to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, wherever you get your books. You can get physical copy, Kindle, audiobook, or indeed you can get it on the Digital DJ Tips website, which is something we added quite recently. So let me show you how to do that, because our book has helped literally tens of thousands of people over the years now to learn to DJ. So head over to the Digital DJ Tips website, at digitaldjtips.com, and then go to the book at the top here, and this will take you straight to an online version of our book. It's all here, it's not been cut down or anything. This is literally it. This is the whole book. But the good thing about this is that we can do stuff in here that we can't do on our printed copy, and basically it's things like this: embed videos, so you can actually see how to do the techniques that we talk about. So it's a good resource for you here. So head over to have a look at the book on the website if you're interested, and you can also download a PDF of the book from here as well. So we'd love you to have that. It's our little gift to the DJing world. Right, so let's see who else we've got here, and let's see where our first questions are going to come from today. Hi to Slipstream, who says I've only just made it to a live show as well, so exciting. Lots of people just arriving. Technobeat TV, Kevin, and Mixmaster G is talking about a new camera that he's got called the OBS Bot Tiny. Such a fun device with great video quality. Yeah, we were talking about it the other week, weren't we? These little OBS Bot, they're called, cameras. And I actually had a quick chat to the company, but it seems like they're not making some of them anymore, so they weren't interested in us doing a review of them. But anyway, I'm glad you've got that, Mixmaster G, and I'm glad you're enjoying it. Hello to Dancing Tunes. Hello to Ian. Hello to the Ruckus. To DJ Fuzz's first question: how do I get my DDJ SRT 1000 SRT to immediately play a track upon loading for fast mixing? That is a very good question. How do you get Serato to immediately play a track on loading for fast mixing? And you know what, off the top of my head, I don't think you can. Someone will no doubt tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Serato has that option. Again, it's off the top of my head, and as a Serato user you'd think I'd know for sure, but you forget these things. I don't think you can do that in Serato. So if anyone wants to prove me wrong on that, please say. Craig is asking a question about this laptop we've got here, which is the XMG DJ15 laptop. How good is it? And should we have a dedicated DJ laptop? I had the 00 DJ years ago. Oh, that was the one that came in its own suitcase, wasn't it? I remember that one. I thought it was cool until the company finished. I couldn't get support. Okay, so this is a bigger question. Should you have a dedicated DJ laptop? So let's talk about that for a bit. So for a lot of people, having a dedicated DJ laptop makes sense if you're a professional. If you then can take your normal laptop along with you as a backup, so you need two anyway, but you want to take a backup anyway. And if you want to keep those two sides of your life separate, it can make sense to have a separate DJ laptop. Now, if you're a DJ that really values performance and reliability, again, having a separate DJ laptop can be a great idea, because it means you're not kind of sullying your DJ laptop with all those things we do on our normal laptops, you know, amazing new app download, you know, on a website, get this new copy of this, get this free copy of that. It's all going into your downloads folder. You're opening things, you're trying things, you're deleting them. There's a trail left by all this stuff. And that is something that maybe you don't want on your DJ laptop, because who knows what might happen if one of those things is a virus, or if one of those things changes your settings. You know, we often download stuff and it says, you know, this app is going to change your settings, is that okay? And you're like, yeah, that's okay, no problem. You know, a DJ laptop can be kept ring fenced from all of that, but at the expense of complication, because now you've got two laptops to worry about. Where are you going to download your music to? Where do you do some tasks and where do you do others? I think if you're doing this full time, or you're charging a lot of money for your services, or any of those things I just said rings true to you, and you think, yeah, that's good reason, then go for a second laptop for your DJing. You know, most DJs I know use just the one laptop for everything in their lives. And so if that's you, because it's out of simplicity, or because DJing is just a hobby or something you don't do full time, then that's okay as well. I mean, that's all I've ever done. I've never had two laptops. I've never had a separate laptop for my DJing. I've just been careful about the one I've got. But I always have a backup, which isn't a laptop. So I always have a backup on an iPad or a phone or whatever. But if you want that backup to be a laptop, it might make sense to have a separate DJ laptop. Now, as far as this laptop here, we've actually reviewed it on Digital DJ Tips. So if you want to know what this laptop is like, the review literally went live yesterday, I think. So just head over to Digital DJ Tips, click on the XMG DJ15 laptop review here, and then you can read what we think about it. But you can see there we've given it 4.5 stars out of 5, but we do call it out where we think it isn't as good as it can be. So if you want to know the pluses and minuses of this laptop, including the stuff we didn't like, there we go, what we didn't like in the middle there, then head over there and read the review on the website. And the team behind this are very, very chatty as well. So if you head over to that YouTube video that's linked in there, then they're in there as well, answering any questions and so on. So, but yeah, it's a great Windows laptop. It's really optimized for low latency between the components. It's got what you need. It hasn't got what you don't need to keep the price down. Yes, a good laptop. Right, more questions. DJ Fuzz, how do I get? Oh no, that's the one we started with, and we've probably got some answers to that down below if I've was wrong on my solution. So hello to Boy David in Glasgow, and to Michael, who's on the other side of the world down there in Australia. Hello to Eves, who's in Bristol. Brian's loving the show over there in New Jersey, where Jason Janai, our wedding DJ tutor, lives. And hello to DJ Ginormous in sunny Buffalo, New York City. Well, it's not New York City at all. It's New York State, isn't it? But hey. Hello to Jonas there in Karlstad. And Kevin, yes, we can't let the new people not know we've written the book, Kevin. You know the drill. Hello to Brent in South Africa, and DJ Queso, good to see you back here. So we have got a good comment here about the XMG laptop from Mixmaster G, who says, everyone's compared it to an Intel MacBook so far, but wouldn't it be good to compare it to a MacBook Air M1? Wouldn't it indeed? We will do that at some point for sure. Will any of the Digital DJ Tips crew be attending any of the DJ conventions next year, says Dancing Tunes? It's a good question. I religiously go to the NAMM show in LA, but I'm thinking about not doing that this year. I think the changes are happening, and I don't think it's worth the time, the money, or frankly the carbon footprint to head all the way from Europe to LA for that show. We'll probably be going to the ADE show, which is not on this year, I don't think. I think they've already cancelled it this year, but I might be wrong. But the next ADE, which is the Amsterdam Dance event, we'll go to. That's probably the only one we'll go to for sure this coming year. Just trying to get the company a bit more sustainable and not spend half our time jetting all around the world for no reason, to be honest with you. Plus the thing with DJ shows is they always used to be where you saw the new gear. But now the new gear is released online. The new gear, we know about it before we go to the shows. You know, the last 2 or 3 times we've been to the big shows, there's not been anything really that we didn't know about. So that takes away one reason to go to them as well. We can better serve you guys and girls by getting the gear early into our studios and you know, playing with it here and reviewing it on the day of release and that kind of stuff. But good question. Times are changing when it comes to DJ shows for sure. So John, I've mapped my my Denon DJ Prime 4 with Virtual DJ, but I can't hear the music on the Q button. What am I doing wrong? You've definitely got the audio settings set wrong. Go and get the audio settings right in Virtual DJ to get that to work. That's what's happening wrong there. Atom says, I've currently got a Tractor Control S2. I've been thinking of getting a Tractor Control D2. Will it be an improvement when it comes to workflow or creativity, or will the S2 suffice? The D2 is a totally different device. They don't make it anymore to start with, really. And I think if you want to upgrade from the S2, you're probably best going to an S4, where you get, you know, the D2 is a deck controller basically. I would go to an S4 to be honest, rather than get a D2 and try and add it onto my S2. But if you're not sure why you want it, it's definitely not worth upgrading. You know, you've got to be sure why you want these things, Atom Fox. You can do an awful lot on the S2 without anything else. Hello to Christian, who's also down there in the Philippines. DJ Ginormous says, I've always had a dedicated DJ laptop. I never wanted to gum it up with all kinds of other stuff. Yeah, this is true. So here's a question about our courses. This is from Boy David. Regarding the Digital DJ Tips courses, once you've bought them, do they get updated to stay up to date? Yes, they do. We update our courses when they need updating to keep them up to date. So the next question live is from Don Nice, who says, can I use Mixcloud to stream my live on Facebook? You can stream to both Mixcloud and Facebook at the same time, but you can't do it, you know, you can't go to one and then to the other one. You have to use a piece of software that lets you do that. We use one here, which I quite often show to people when they ask this question, which is called Restream. So Restream looks like this. That's actually the software. That's Restream. We're live at the moment. You can see we're live on our YouTube page, on Twitch, Facebook. You can see the number of people we've got viewing us on these channels here. So this is called Restream. Now you can use this for free, but it's got a lot of limitations for free, and there's subscription plans as well. But that's the way to go live on more than one channel at once, is to use an app, and there's a few of them out there, but Restream is the one everyone uses, restream.io, and that'll let you go live to lots of different places at the same time. So Brian, what's the best way to record sessions using a CDJ 3000? I would probably just use a mix box. So I'm not sure if I've got a mix box here in the studio at the moment. If I have, it's going to be at the back here somewhere. Here we go. Use one of these. It's a Mixbox EverMix, and the Mixbox EverMix is basically a little audio interface, comes in a little case like this with all the leads and stuff that you need, and that will plug into the back of your, let's get that back there somewhere, plug into the back of your CDJ 3000 setup, and then it'll plug from there into your phone and just record directly onto your phone, and you can upload to the internet from there and stuff like that as well. There's other ways of recording. There's lots of ways of recording your DJ sets. You can record directly to a hardware recorder. Again, I'm not very organized here. I'm not sure where everything is today. This is a hardware recorder, and this basically has got on it an input and an SD card slot, and then you just hit record on this thing, and then when you're finished you take the SD card out, plug it into your computer, and there's your DJ set. So that's another way of doing it, and you can record direct to a laptop if you've got one with you, but that's often not the case if you're DJing on CDJs, because you're DJing with Pioneer gear, right? So yeah, an EverMix box to record directly on your phone, or a recorder. That's the Tascam DR05, by the way. It's not the best for the job, but God, it does the job, and I've had that for about 20 years. They haven't changed, but they're fine. Right, so glad to help on that one. This is Digital DJ Tips. This is our Thursday Q&A live. If you're enjoying this, please do subscribe. You can do that here, but also if you're watching the replay, do subscribe and click the bell if you're on YouTube, or like the page and click show page first if you're on Facebook, because that will allow us to inform you when we go live. But if you are watching this on the replay, don't worry, you can ask questions anyway if you're on YouTube or Facebook, and we will look at them and answer you underneath the recorded video. So do ask questions anyway. The next live question is from Xcoza. Going to be buying my first PA in the coming months. I'm looking at the Soundbox 3, but I'm wondering how they compare to a dedicated PA. All YouTube videos I see just compare them to other Bluetooth speakers. It's a good question, and we haven't reviewed a dedicated PA system for a long time. I'm interested in doing that quite soon. All I will say is that the Soundbox 3 speakers, and Soundbox speakers, I've actually got some in the studio, but they're out of the reach of the camera. They're literally by my head up there on top of our display case. But the Soundbox 3 is a speaker that is basically built like a PA speaker, but it's got the wireless and the Bluetooth and all that kind of stuff that is present in, you know, the little beer can speakers that we all have knocking around our house to take down the beach and stuff, right? So it looks like this. It's quite big, quite heavy, but it's got all the smarts of speakers that you plug into the mains. This is plugging into a rechargeable battery. You can also plug this into the mains as well. So that's what the Soundbox 3 is. We love it. It sounds great. It's loud, it's clear, it's comparable to your average PA speaker for sure. The PA that we always recommend people go for, especially in Europe because it's just available and it works, is the LD Dave system. They've got various sizes of these PAs called LD Dave. What I would say is that Soundbox hasn't got a dedicated subwoofer. So if a subwoofer is important to you, then you're going to want to look at something that isn't their speaker. But if you want something that's an all-rounder, we think they're great. We do like them. So I hope that helps, Xcoza. My next live question is from AB, who says, I've got an app for samples and grooves on my iPad. How do I send the audio output to my mixer input? Please advise, Phil. This is for live acts during DJing. What I would do is just plug I'll just plug an adapter into your iPad. I'm presuming your iPad doesn't have a headphones out. If it does, even easier. But just plug an audio interface that will take the signal out of your iPad via its USB-C connector, and then put it into a spare channel on the back of your DJ gear. So all DJ gear has got most kind of pro DJ gear has got spare channels on it. So this is the Pioneer DJ DDJ 800. So at the top here, this has only got, you know, it looks like you've got two channels here, both software, right? But it hasn't, because it's got these two buttons on the back here at the top of the channels, and you can switch these to a line input. So on the back of here, I can plug a line input in. So I just plug it directly into there, and when you want to play music, click to line. Or the alternative, if you've got an auxiliary input, and this again we've got an auxiliary input here, so this is a separate input around the back, and the beauty of this is it leaves both your main channels free. So your auxiliary input here can be another place to plug in if you don't need all the control over it that you've got here, and you just need a volume control to mix it in and out. So that way it becomes almost like a sampler volume, this auxiliary input. So lots of ways, as long as your controller has got on the back ways of plugging stuff in. And as I said, this one has, because it's got a little bit more than just software. So around the back of it, here's the auxiliary input control here. We've also got inputs for decks and so on. So this is what you're looking for. Anything that's got that on the back should figure fine when you're wanting to plug in your iPad or anything else. Come to that, I use my phone as a backup device, just a quick, as I say, quick audio interface in the back there to plug into the back of the decks. So if anything goes wrong with the decks, it's all covered. Right, cool. Which one has the longer life, battery life? The XMG laptop, this one here, or a MacBook? It just depends which MacBook, I would say. XMG is about 6 hours, so the MacBook probably is a bit better for battery life, but I'm honestly not sure. Again, it depends which MacBook you're running, I would guess. So the next live question, it's just Kevin saying, I've got a Mac dedicated to my DJ laptop. So there we go. So we have got lots of different people doing different things with their laptops. But like I said, I've never had a dedicated DJ laptop. It's just, I just like the simplicity of having it all in one place, to be honest. And I've also never had any problems. So maybe I'm just blessed. So as a primary wedding DJ, what do you suggest I should really focus on in my training? I've taken your mobile DJ course. Would you suggest me learning scratching in one of your courses? Well, look, to be honest with you, the mobile DJ course will have taught you all about the business side of DJing, But then when it comes to improving your mixing, and I'm going to go back to the Digital DJ Tips website here to show you, when it comes to your mixing, what I would say is, as a mobile DJ, I've got to stop flicking to the wrong computer there. As a mobile DJ, the courses that are going to be most useful to you are probably going to be our mixing courses. So head to the courses section at the top and scroll down to mixing courses here. So let me point a few out to you. So I would avoid, as a mobile DJ, I'd avoid the James Hype course because it's a house course basically. And again, I'd avoid house music mixing mastery because it's a house course. Luke's is kind of an EDM big festival course. But the ones I would look at would be these three here. I'd look at DJ Angelo's Tricks and Transitions because this is an open format course. It'll teach you to basically mix anything into anything and do it in a really flash way so you can show off a bit to your audiences. If you're new to this kind of power mixing where you're moving past just beat mixing, a good introduction, because this course is quite complicated, a good introduction would be Mixing Power Skills, where we gently bring you into the subject and then show you all kinds of the things that you learn in all these other courses. But the one that is most useful for mobile DJs is Mixing Mastery, because the music we use in there is more the kind of music you would use at weddings and so on. So I would say definitely the mixing course is next, and have a look at these three. Out of these three, probably if you're a total beginner to kind of like advanced mixing power skills, or if you know how to mix, Mixing Mastery would be a good one to give you some ideas with the kind of music you're likely to be using. And if you're really wanting to push the boundary, Angelo's course is the one, because Angelo plays a lot of the music styles that you don't see covered quite so often elsewhere on Digital DJ Tips, like hip hop and R&B and soul and that kind of thing. So that's what I recommend. Okay, our next live question. We are nearly halfway through. Please hit those appreciation thumbs ups, icons, hearts, whatever you've got on your platform if you're enjoying this today. So Andy says, I printed the fuzzy key wheel and I'm trying to learn it and play like 1A, etc. and put them into folders and trying to mix and key at the same BPM, and I'm really enjoying the DJ Angelo course. Is it important to know the key? Right, now we get to your question. So it's good that you're getting stuck into key mixing. You don't have to know the key of your music to mix well with it, but you have to know the key of your music if you want to put elements together which have got melodic information in them. Melodic information is stuff like bass lines, drums, vocals, keyboards, synthesizers. And I made a mistake there because the only thing that isn't melodic is drums. So forget what I just said. Bass lines, melodies played on pianos, on synthesizers, vocals, anything with a tune, anything that you could play on a keyboard is melody. The only thing that isn't melody, and by the way, you can tune drums, those of you that are drummers, I know that, but for the sake of this argument, anything that isn't a melody, you know, drums, kick drum, snare drum, hi-hats, hand claps, all that kind of stuff, that's not melodic. So if you're mixing two tracks together and one of them's only that kind of stuff, one of them's only drums and percussion, then it doesn't matter whether it's in key or not with this track, because the part of the track you're using doesn't really have a musical key. But as soon as you're overlapping musical information, then key is important. So that's really the rule of key mixing. A lot of people will try and mix in the same key all night or in compatible keys all night, but there's no need if you're just mixing drums over music or drums over drums. That's a good chance to change the key, and so you're opening up another part of your collection for DJing with if you're wanting to mix in key. Using key sync, of course, it gets even easier, because using what we call fuzzy key mixing, you can mix anything into anything and still do it in key. And if you're interested in learning about fuzzy key mixing, head over to the website, go to the search at the bar at the top here and just type fuzzy key mixing in, and that will take you to this article here, where we give you our revolutionary new way of mixing anything into anything without needing to know whether it's going to go or not, because of the brilliance of modern DJ software. By the way, now we're on the website, I just want to show you something that we've added recently. So a lot of people have been telling us that it's hard to find our DJ courses, the actual courses themselves, in other words, the courses that you bought when you're on the website. And we're like, you're right, it is. We've never made that very easy. So we decided to correct that, and at the same time we decided to make it easier to subscribe and join Digital DJ Tips. So let me show you that, because it's something that went live. I just noticed it then actually, which is why I raised it. Something went live just a couple of days ago. So on the Digital DJ Tips website, there's a couple of new things. There's a subscribe button at the top here, and the subscribe button will take you to a page that tells you all about what you get when you join Digital DJ Tips. So this is worth doing. If you're not a member of Digital DJ Tips, come and subscribe, come and join us. We'd love to have you as a member. But the other thing we've got at the top here is course access. This is the new course access button. Now when you click on here, it's going to take you to all the courses you own. Now if you're not logged in, it'll take you to the login page, and then you can fill that in. There's my email and my hidden password. So now it's going to log me in, and here's all the DJ courses that I own. And so the DJ courses you own will show here, and then from here you are in and you're ready to log into your courses. So a much easier way of getting to your courses, and something that we've just added to the website in the last day or so, and we're very proud of it. It's always nice to improve these things. So there you go, that's something new for you members and something new for you people who haven't subscribed yet. Right, next question live is from, let me just do the hashtag ask, because lots of comments coming in. This is why it's a good idea to put a hashtag on your question, because it means when I get to about halfway through and the comments are too full, you're going to be the only thing I see. This is from Nick, who says, hi Phil, I'd like to ask about beat matching. When matching modern digital files with the beats in line and the same BPM, will there be any drift? No, not like vinyl, there won't be any drift. But also modern sync will just lock them anyway, so that gives you double assurance that it's going to be all right. Tech No Beat TV, is there any way to add overlays in the Larix Broadcaster app? I think you can now actually. Larix Broadcaster is an app we recommend people on phones, Android phones and iOS for easily getting online when you're DJing. And I think they have just added overlays to the app, so try and get the latest version of the app. Any thoughts on the Bose L1 as a primary sound system for a mobile DJ? I think it's great as long as you don't want to go really loud, as a short answer there. Any tips on what headphones and system to use for a silent disco? I'm considering buying some gear for our dance club. I've got no idea, Jonas, at all. Silent discos are great, right? Where everyone's got headphones on and you've got sometimes two DJs at the front and you can choose who you're going to listen to and stuff. But I've got no idea about silent disco equipment. What I recommend you do is head over to Global DJ Network and ask the question there. And by the way, if anyone doesn't know what Global DJ Network is, well, it's about time I showed you, isn't it? Global DJ Network is our awesome group for DJs. It's by DJs for DJs. So you want to head over to the Digital DJ Tips. Well, head over to Facebook first, and on Facebook, type Global DJ Network, and here's Global DJ Network. Global DJ Network is our group for DJs by DJs, and it's the best place to ask questions, to get help and all that stuff. Look, there we are live at the moment. You can, oh look, someone's loving the course access button. It's sometimes a struggle remembering where the courses are. Oh, thank you, Marie, for that. This is a great place to go and ask questions. This is an unpaid gig, but it'll be great exposure for you. That's perfect. My rent's actually 800 exposures. As you can see, it's where we hang out, where we have fun, where we share memes, and where we just generally kick back together in a very welcoming environment. So if you would like to come and join Global DJ Network, find it and click the join button and we will let you in. Everyone who joins here is joined up manually. It's not an automatic group, so do give us time to accept you, but that is a great place to ask questions to 10,000 DJs, of which someone will definitely know the answer. So Jonas, I recommend you go and do that. Queso's asking about the Pioneer DJS 1000 sampler. No, we won't be doing anything on that, purely because it's an old piece of kit, Queso, and not many people own it, so it wouldn't be worth the time for us to do that. But I'm sure there's some good videos online about that if you go and have a little peek. Hello to someone over on Facebook. I upgraded and I now have mixed in key 10. Why can't I get the cue pointing to work? It does the calculations, but when it goes into Rekordbox, it says it can't find the XML file. What am I doing wrong? And the truth here is that there is an issue between Rekordbox and Mixed in Key 10. So ask Mixed in Key support if you want some help with that. There are people in this group who've dealt with that. And again, Global DJ Network would be a good place to go and ask about that, or just search about it. But I don't have the answer to that at the tip of my tongue, unfortunately. Ian, have you heard any news on the new Denon DJ LC6000s working with the Prime 4? No, we haven't had any news on that at all, Ian. So hopefully they will. It's something that we've said to them, why don't you do this soon? But we don't have any news. You know, they've got presumably other things that they're working on as well. But as soon as they've got something to tell us, they will, and we'll tell you. So Lou says, is it wise to hold on to equipment for too long? Do companies stop supporting equipment after a while? It's a really good question, and funnily enough, we've got an article coming up about this next week. But in truth, most DJ gear you're fine to hang on to for at least 5 years from the date of purchase, probably longer. You know, there are certain old audio interfaces, for instance, that don't work with Serato anymore, but Serato still supports like really old controllers like the Vestax VCI 100 and so on, which is like 10 years old now. And honestly, I think you're probably good. And you know, if the equipment's still working, then why not just still keep using it? Is the truth, especially nowadays, because the equipment through flow has slowed down a lot. Like, I don't know how old the DDJ 1000 is, but it's quite old now, right? The Pioneer DDJ 1000. By the way, I've got a little tip for you. If you are considering buying DJ gear and you're not sure how old it is, and you don't want to buy something that's old, at least, you know, you want it to be reasonably new when you buy it, head over to our reviews section, and then you can drill down in the review section by gear. So if it's DJ gear I'm after, I'll click DJ gear, and then in here I can say it's a DJ controller I'm after for Tractor, let's say. So now it's got all the DJ controllers for Tractor here, or that work with Tractor here, sorted out for me. And let's say I'm thinking of getting the new the S2 Mark II. So I click on the S2 Mark II, and it tells me that this was released in September 2013. So I might think twice about that, and indeed in the results there you can see we've got the S2 Mark III here as well, and that was released in September 2018. So obviously that's going to be the better one to go for as far as the age of the device goes out of those two. So all DJ gear that we've reviewed, which is pretty much everything, you can find out the age of it just by looking at our review over there in Digital DJ Tips in the reviews section. So yeah, buy gear, you know, if you're a second-hand bargain lover, I'd say buy gear at a year or two old and sell it at 6 or 7 years old. Then you'll get the kind of half decade of use out of it, and you'll probably be able to sell it for somewhere near what you bought it for, as long as you looked after it. So Tyler, another question. Since graduating with my degree in audio production, I've been keen to start a hip-hop group, similar to Dr. Dre with NWA. Unfortunately, I'm having trouble finding artists to get on board. Do you have any advice? Depends where you are, Tyler. But this is one of those things that I think your local listings would be the place, because you want to be doing it with people nearby, right? So think local, don't think online. Get your feet worn out by going around all the places people hang out and sticking notices up and that kind of thing. That's what I would do anyway. Brian is asking what I actually answered to someone else earlier. Yeah, JBL and LD systems are definitely popular in Europe. And LD systems are the PAs that we like as a rule, just because we've reviewed them, we own them, and they work fine. Here's a question about the Camelot wheel. If you change 1A upper key, it's not 2A. Is there a chart that has the keys in that order? Now, this is a very good point you make here. Now, the way that key works is called the circle of fifths, okay? This is a musical term, so anyone who's musical will know about the circle of fifths. It's taught to every music student. And the circle of fifths looks a little bit like this. I'm going to get it on the screen now and show you. This contains all the musical keys. Now, interestingly, on the circle of fifths, that's C and that's A minor. They're related. This is called the relative key to this key. They use all the same notes. These keys here are related. This is the subdominant and the dominant key to the key we're looking at. These are related to the key we're looking at because these are the tonics of the subdominant and the dominant. This whole chunk I'm showing you here have got a lot in common, and they will tend to mix all right together. But who's going to remember that, unless you're musical, that C is likely to mix with A minor, G, E minor, D, and F, and so on? No one is the answer. But there's an easier way, and that's called the Camelot wheel. And the Camelot wheel solves this by, instead of the keys having those musical notation way of referring to them, they have this way of referring to them, which I'm going to show you now on the Mixed In Key official page, which looks like this. So now, instead of having, so let's find the keys we were talking about earlier. So we've got this, the key of C, which is going to be here. They've moved them around a bit. Look, it's the same keys. C, there's our A minor, there's our G, there's our F, there's our D minor, there's our E minor. These are all the same keys. They've just moved them from the top, from the diagram I had. But these are all the same keys. But now they've got numbers and letters. 8, 7, 9, A and B, right? So this makes it easier because all you need to know is that a track in the key of 8 is going to mix to a track in the key of 9 or 7, and they actually mix diagonally quite well as well. We won't go into this in too much detail. Really well. So if you change just the letter and keep the number the same, or change just the number and keep the letter the same, or change just the number and just the letter as well, then you're likely to get a track that works all right in the mix. So that's what this wheel does. But as you've just pointed out, it doesn't mean that, you know, you move from 8 to 9, you're not going from A to B, or B to C, or C to D, because that's not how this wheel works. 8 to 9 is A minor to E minor. 12 to 1 is D flat to A flat minor. 1B to 2B is B major to F sharp major. So the only way of knowing how to mix, of knowing what the keys are like, so for instance, the key that's one musical tone above C major is D major, right? This one here. But it's 2 above on the numbers, 8 to 10. D major up to E major is 2 numbers again. Now the next one on the white keys on the piano is actually F major. F major is a jump all the way over here to 7B. So you're going from 12B to 7B there. So there is no easy correlation on the Camelot wheel between, or on the circle of fifths, between where they are and what they mean. So the easiest way to do it is to get a version of the Camelot wheel like the one I just showed you, where it's actually got the real keys printed on, and then you can quickly work it out that way. There is another wheel. It's not even a wheel, it's just a diagram, which I'm going to Google for you now, which is made by a friend of Digital DJ Tips. It's called Ferdinand's Wheel. And Ferdinand's Wheel, you can find it, it's on our website. So I'm going to just go to our website and show you where you can find this. So Ferdinand's Wheel is a wheel that kind of gets around that issue. And what this does is, you can find this on, if you just Google quadruple and Digital DJ Tips, or just search in the search bar for the word quadruple, you'll come up to this, and you'll find this diagram here. And I'm not going to talk you through it now, but if you read the article and look at the wheel and the diagram that we reproduce here, you will find a really useful tool if you want to move around, like move up a key or up 2 keys, or up a semitone or up a tone, that would be called musically, rather than mixing key. Right, I went on a bit with that one, but there's nothing easy about key mixing. We've got a whole course on it if you're interested, called How to Master Key Mixing, but I hope that helps, Sherwin. What about an upgrade of the Traktor Control X1, says David. They're not upgrading any hardware Traktor at the moment. I don't see them doing that anytime soon. Peter, what's your take on using a gaming headset in DJing? If it's got closed over ear cups and it's well isolating, so when you put the cups on it sounds very muffled outside. If it's got a decent long enough cord, preferably one that's coiled, and if it's loud enough for you to hear properly, then any headset will do. A gaming headset, you've got that microphone, haven't you? Whether you've got this one or it's just built into one of the cups. Whether that works well if you want to use a microphone for DJing, some of them will work well. Others not so much, because they'll be omnidirectional, so they won't cut out background noise as well. I'd say just try it. But what you're going to find with gaming headphones is they might have the wrong plug on them because they're designed to be plugged into computers, and they might have not a long enough cord. They might have stuff on the cord for like volume and stuff, which you don't really want. But that said, it's the isolation that counts, really. So if they isolate and you can kind of botch everything else to make it work, hey, no problem with them at all. Is Traktor going to be producing a standalone controller like a Denon Prime Go? Again, I don't think so, because they're just not making hardware at the moment. Here's a question. Virtual DJ 2021 or Serato DJ Pro? Virtual DJ has got the best technology in it. Serato DJ is used by more people and works natively with more hardware, to give you a 1 or 2 sentence answer to that question. So Mo says, do you ever have time to view any DJs on Twitch? I very rarely view any DJs. I very rarely listen to mixtapes. I very rarely listen to DJ mixes or watch stuff. You know, it tends to be people we're working with, like when we work with Jazzy Jeff or DJ Angelo or James Hype. I'll really get deeply into their stuff and so on. But, you know, to be honest, I don't have time anymore, is the truth. I'd love to have time to listen to DJs playing all the time, but I don't. Of course, I love hearing DJs out, but no, I do tune into live streams sometimes just because they happen to be on around the time I'm watching a live stream from someone I know or something, but not as much as I would like, Jermaine. I'd really like to have more time for that. Do you see the Traktor Control S8 being continued? Lots of Traktor questions today, or replaced anytime soon. I'm not sure if it is discontinued yet. I think if it isn't, it will be soon, and I don't see it being replaced either. I think Traktor controllers without jog wheels are a thing of the past, personally. Right, this is Digital DJ Tips. This is Thursday Q&A Live. We're just answering DJ questions. If you've just joined us, you've missed 3/4 of it. So the way to tune into this and the way to know when we're live is to go here, subscribe, click the bell as well. If you're on Facebook, click like this page and click show posts first, and then you will be notified when we go live. And please do click the share button, people, if you're enjoying this. If I've answered a question, if you found it useful, if I've answered your question, the least we expect you to do is help us pay it forward and click that share button. So please do that. What are your thoughts on the Schenker laptop for music production? I use Ableton and I plan to buy a laptop this year. So that's the laptop we've got in the studio here. Right, my thoughts on this for music production, well, you're going to get low latency on it. It's got loads of ports, so it's really easy to plug stuff in and out of it. It's extremely powerful, and it's really down to hard disk size. Now, this comes with a gigabyte hard disk. I think you can get a 2 gig as well. And memory, and I think it comes with, from the top of my head, 16 gig, but you can have that upgraded to 32. You know, a 32 gig RAM, 2 terabyte SSD. Did I say gigabyte? I meant terabyte. 2 terabyte SSD version of this laptop you're looking at here would be pretty cool. The only thing I would say is the screen is full HD, but it's not Retina, and so if you're staring at the screen, like literally staring and staring and staring on a long production session, you might prefer a Retina screen. But you know, everything else, you might not. You might be absolutely fine with an HD screen. But everything else, you know, the ports, and you can also always plug an extra monitor in if you do want a bigger screen anyway. The ports and stuff, the speed of it, the components they use, fantastic. So yeah. I think it would make a great production laptop. It's optimized for audio. That's the point of this laptop. So, you know, it's bound to. So here's a good question from Roman or Roman. A line array versus point source PA system. Which one would you prefer for mobile gigs of up to 50 people? I would go for the like Bose L1 style with the long thin array speakers, because they disperse the sound better. So you don't have spots that are very, very loud. And that mean people who are stood near there, you know, so say you set your system up on a small wedding venue and there's a dance floor, but there's also tables and stuff. Anyone whose tables are near to a traditional PA speaker might be deafened, but the Bose one's a little bit better at keeping it all a little bit more spread out. I think they're very, very good for small venues, those little line array. Obviously not the big line array systems that you see in festivals. We're talking about the little speakers. You can get mini line arrays that look like the festival ones, but I think the ones with the long, thin speakers with lots and lots of speakers in, that's what I'm thinking about when you say line array. And I think they're great. I like them. So DJ List, do you think Denon will upgrade engine on the Prime Go 2 and 4 to allow the audio to be routed through the USB for streamers and whatnot? You can't, unfortunately, do that to the best of my knowledge, and I don't think they can change that. So my answer is no. Let's see if they surprise us there. I'd love that as well. I think that'd be great. The next live question is from Techie1210, who says, I'm looking for a way to improve the sound quality of my live streams using a DDJ 1000 hooked up to my phone, using Larix versus via an SC4. It seems okay, but not quite great. You need to get a audio interface. So using basically a cable, and a TRS to TRRS cable, which is what you're using, to plug into a phone, or an iPad or something to go live is good, but not brilliant, because it's in mono and it's just not the best way. What you want is a mini audio interface, simple audio interface, a 2-in audio interface that works with your iOS device or your Android device, that will take your output from your DJ controller, digitize it and feed it in through the USB or the Lightning cable, and that will give you stereo audio and better audio. So look for small audio interfaces. 2-in is what you're looking for, the number 2 and the word in. 2-in audio interfaces for iOS devices. There's loads of them out there, so Google that, stick it in Amazon and see what you come up with, and that will improve your audio interface for sure. DJ Soup is looking for a laptop or drum machine that will secure to your DJ facade. Any suggestions that will secure to your DJ facade? No idea what you're meaning there. No, sorry, you've got me there. Maybe tell us a bit more what you mean. What cloud storage is the best for music collections? So I use Dropbox. I also use iCloud, but I don't use iTunes Match. Are they still doing iTunes Match? I think they probably are. But really, they're all the same. You know, any of those will work. I'm sure you can get Microsoft's Box. Is it called Box storage? Mine's gone blank there. What's Microsoft's called? I think it might be. It really doesn't matter. You know, the one I've used, the two I've used a lot, iCloud and Dropbox, pretty indistinguishable to me. I'm currently using iCloud, but I just have a folder of my documents on iCloud called DJ Music. So it's nothing to do with iTunes. I don't buy into using iTunes for all this stuff. And I just keep it in there, and I know it's going to be all downloaded on my DJ computer, and I can download tracks if I need them on other computers. And then on my laptop computer, I deliberately download everything from there every now and then, because then I've got two physical backups, one on two computers, and I've got the backup in the cloud, which is the 3 backups that I think you should have to be sure your music collection is okay. So Craig is asking about Digital DJ Tips Radio, which is something we trialed earlier this year. What's the latest plans with it? I'm sure it'd be great if students and followers could get some of their music discovered and heard. We've actually stopped our trial of Digital DJ Tips Radio. We did run an alpha, if you like, mix station online for a little while. We're just looking at the results, deciding what we want to do with it. So watch this space, Craig. We haven't made our mind up yet on that. Big Joyce, here's a mixing tip. Any ideas, tips on mixing songs which have a lot of highs? Bass is easy to cut and swap, but a song with a lot of highs can be a nightmare. Right, so highs, we're talking about hi-hats, closed and open hi-hats. We're talking about anything else like cymbals and stuff going on in the very high end of the track. So it depends on the songs. If they've got complementary sounds going on, like one's quite clean at the top end and one's got percussion or something, they might sound nice together. But if not, it's probably a good idea, or if they've got the same thing playing. So there's a lot of drum patterns are very similar, right? So if they've got the same thing playing, probably all right to have them playing at the same time. But otherwise, you know, either mix tracks together where the percussion hasn't kicked in properly, the high stuff hasn't kicked in properly yet, and then when it does kick in, switch over to the new track, or use your high controls just like you use your bass controls to swap them over. So in other words, if you're mixing into a track that you know has got some pretty complicated stuff going on on the high frequencies, have the high frequencies turned down a bit, keep them turned up on the outgoing track, and then just switch them over in the same way you switch the bass over. It's all about knowing your tracks, and knowing what sounds good. And also the best DJs will basically adjust on the fly. They'll hear something happen and it doesn't sound very good, so they'll fade that one out and leave the other one playing or whatever. So being aware of what's going on in your mix and adjusting as you go along is a good skill to try and teach yourself. But in theory, mixing high frequencies is no different to mixing any frequencies. It's just that a lot of DJs will swap the bass drums and therefore the bass lines, because you never, ever, ever want two kick drums playing away in your mix at the same time. Or rather, it's okay to have it, but you'll never gain anything by it. You're only going to lose something if they sound a bit weird together, really. So that's why most DJs tend to try and prefer one over the other down at that low end. The next live question, as we move into our last few minutes, is it good to have all your music saved in iTunes and use it in Rekordbox? It's okay as long as you understand what iTunes is doing. iTunes will always copy your music into it. And by the way, it's called Music now on Mac. I think it's still called iTunes on Windows, I'm not sure. iTunes will move all your music into not only its own database, but its own media folder. And so you'll have two copies now. You'll have the copy where it was and the copy that iTunes has moved, unless you tell it not to. And so you need to know that. You need to say, I'm going to keep it outside or inside iTunes. There's no bad, right and wrong way. There's lots of nuances to it that we talk about a lot in various articles and so on, but I haven't got time to go into them now. But you've got to understand what iTunes is doing is the point. So if you want to use iTunes to do your playlists and so on, that's absolutely fine. But just be aware of how iTunes organizes your music, how you've got that set, and the fact that it will, unless you tell it not to, copy music into itself. Because what you want to avoid with DJ software is moving the music that you've told your DJ software about after you've told your DJ software about it. In other words, when you import something to your DJ software, don't move that tune from anywhere it is currently living on your system. If it's living in your iTunes music folder physically, don't move it from there. Or if it's living in a folder on somewhere else on your hard drive, don't move it from there. That's where it lives now. Because if you move it, your DJ software won't be able to find it anymore. So, you know, the way you organize your music involves you setting a few rules for yourself, a few things that you're going to do, and you're going to stick to that and understand what you're doing. And iTunes just makes it a bit more difficult. I advise all DJs nowadays, when you get music on your system, put it into a folder called DJ Music, just on your hard drive. And then when you want to add it to your DJ system, drag it from there or import it from there into your DJ record box, Serato, Tract or whatever, and do all your organizing within that piece of software, all your playlisting, all your analyzing, all that stuff, do it all there. And then all you've got to remember to do is back up your database for your DJ software. There'll be an easy way of backing that up, just looking at your DJ software's instructions. That'll remember the waveform information, the key information, the well, some of this stuff is actually saved by in the file, but that'll remember this stuff anyway. Remember the artist and title and stuff if they're WAV files you're using, because that gets stored in a separate database. And all your cues and loops and stuff, it all gets saved in the database with your DJ software. So back that up, and then back up that one folder with all your actual physical music files in. And that's it, done. It saves having to worry about whether you have got your stuff safely backed up and where all your stuff is kept. So that is what I would recommend any beginner to do nowadays. Have a good reason if you want to complicate things by using iTunes and extra software. That's what I'm saying. It's absolutely fine to, but understand what you're doing. Right, so is there a good article out there on how to sort music? Well, I've just told you how we would advise you sort music. Matt Edge, we cover this an awful lot in our Digital DJ Lab, product. So on Digital DJ Tips, go to DJ Courses, scroll down to Digital DJ Lab at the bottom here, and have a look at that. We've got a lot of stuff in there about how to organize your music, but also if you want just the complete way of doing it, have a look at our complete DJ course, because one of the 5 things we cover in the complete DJ course, we cover gear, techniques, music, playing out and promoting yourself. And one of those things is music. And in the music section in here, we go into great detail about how to organize your music. So if you want to learn how to do it from the bottom up, the way we would recommend doing it and the way thousands of our students have done it, have a look at our complete DJ course. Guys and girls, last chance to get questions in. I want to answer just 2 or 3 more and then I'm out of here for today. Just to remind you before we do answer 2 or 3 more questions that we're here every Thursday doing this. We're also here every Tuesday with Tuesday Tips Live, where we take either a piece of equipment, a piece of software or a training point and cover it in some detail. And we're also here on Sundays when we just stream and have fun playing music. So basically 2 minutes from now, look at your watch, wherever you are in the world, join us on Sunday on all the channels we're on now apart from Facebook. We're also on Mixcloud on Sundays, where you can see it's me this week, DJing, giving shouts, having some fun, or it could be Steve or Ben. Well done to both of those guys for filling in the weeks when I'm not doing it. They both do a great job. We'd love to see you there. Right, okay, final questions. This is from Stephen. Does the Serato virtual audio cable work to route audio to Audacity? Yeah, it does. It works fine. If you don't know what we're talking about there, don't worry, but yes, it does, Stephen. Mixmaster G is pointing out something that I actually did point out as well, that it doesn't always copy the tunes to your iTunes folder. You can turn that off, and indeed we would recommend you turn it off if you used iTunes. What's your favourite effect? Asked Big Joe Joyce. I love setting the transformer effect or the gate effect to a quarter beat and increasing the low filter over the last 4 bars before a drop. I love it, Big Joe. There you go, people. Screenshot that one now and go and try it yourself. It's a great idea. Set the transform effect over the last 4 bars of a track before a drop and setting a low filter increasingly as it's cutting out. I love it. My favourite effect is probably filter, just straight filter. I just love filters. I never get bored of them. Donnie, I've got a MacBook Pro Core, a Pro Core Intel i5. Is it good to stream? Yeah, it should be fine. Don't push it too hard. Just do it slowly. Add 1 camera, then add another camera maybe, then try a few effects and so on. But yeah, take it slowly. But yeah, you'll definitely be fine to get going with that. Right, people, we're done here today. Thank you very, very much for joining us. Whether you were on Twitch, hello to Hekim over there on Twitch, who says thanks again. I love these sessions. Whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on our Facebook group, Global DJ Network, our Facebook group for students, Student Hub, or our Facebook page, Digital DJ Tips. Wherever you are watching this, thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for asking so many great questions. Do subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Do hit the share button right now before we go off air to pay this forward to other people and let them watch the recording. And meanwhile, get good, get out there, make the moments. And from me here in the Digital DJ Tips studio, take care. Bye-bye.